Hi students, welcome back to All4's e-learning chemistry classes. This is session 9 and in this session I am going to teach you the concept of empirical and molecular formulae. Before that, let me introduce one numerical question with a different model which is usually asking in advanced papers, IIT advanced paper, and this question is a matrix matching type question, and in the first column you will be having 4 different A, B, C, D things, and the second column P, Q, R, S, T. Matrix matching means A may be matched with either with P or P and Q or PQR or PS or all PQRST like that. Similarly, B, C and D. In this type of questions, there will be no options in the paper. You should bubble this relation, that matching within the OMR sheet itself. Now it is an online examination. You have to do it on the computer by giving the respective sheet there in the form of answers. So let me explain this question, students. You please write down all the data. First of all, it's a very important question based on mole concept only. After finishing of that, I will switch over to the today's topic, empirical and molecular formulae. In the first column, option A, 0.875 moles of oxygen. B, 1 mole of nitrogen gas, please note down. C, 2 moles of sodium nitrate NaNO3. D, 0.4375 moles of K2SO4. I think I'll write it down. Next, in column 2, P, 28 grams. Q, 22.4 liters at STP. R, 1.2 into 10 power 24 atoms of nitrogen. S, 1.05 into 10 power 24 atoms of oxygen. And T, 76.125 grams. Let me evaluate this solution of this question. Now, let me take first of all A present in the column 1, 0.875 mole of oxygen gas. See, I am converting this 0.875. Simply it is nothing but 7 by 8. 7 by 8. It means 7 by 8 moles of oxygen gas. Okay. From that, what we can calculate? 7 by 8 mole. Each mole of oxygen contains 2 moles of oxygen atoms, because O2 is the molecular formula of oxygen. So 1 mole of oxygen gas will possess 2 moles. Here he has given 0.875 moles. So what will be the atoms? Let me check it out. 7 by 8 into 7 by 8 moles. Moles means 6 into 10 power 23 molecules. Again, each molecule of oxygen contains 2 atoms. Seven threes are 21 into 2, 42 by 4 into 10 power 23. Write down, students. This is simply 10.5 into 10 power 23. So no doubt it is going to be matched with S. No doubt. Here I am writing S. Let me check it out whether any option is there. We know molar mass of oxygen is 32. Molar mass means mass of 1 mole of oxygen. So 7 by 8 moles oxygen. So again it is also 28 grams. So finally A in the column 1 can be matched with P and as well as S. So I am writing the answer here at this place. I am going to write. I am writing here. Please note it down. A is already matched with P and S. P and S. Let me check the volume also, because volume is given 7 by 8 moles. 7 by 8 into 22.4. No doubt you will never get 22.4. It is not matched with Q. So it does not contain any nitrogen, so not matched with 2. weight is also not matched. So finally A is finally matched with P and S. Okay. Now come to B. 1 mole of nitrogen gas. We know very well molar mass of nitrogen is 28. So B is also matched with P. 1 mole of any gas at STP occupy 22.4 liters, we know. So B is also matched with Q. Not down, students. Okay. Next, another option. 1 mole of nitrogen gas. 1 mole of nitrogen gas means 6 into 10 power 23 molecules. Again, each nitrogen contains 2. That is 12 into 10 power 23. You can write it as 1.2 into 10 power 24. So B is also matched with R. Yes, no doubt it does not match with this weight. So B is finally matched with P, Q and as well as R. Now let me go for the next one, C. Okay. 2 moles of sodium nitrate. Let me calculate the molar mass first of all. Sodium 23, 14, 37 plus 48, that is 85 is the molar mass. Okay, 2 moles means 170 grams. No way. No way. So it is not going to match with the P and T. No match. Okay, let me check it out. Other one. Take nitrogen atoms. 1 mole gives 1 species possess 1 nitrogen in sodium nitrate. 2 moles. 2 moles. 2 moles means 2 into 1.2 into 2 moles. 1 mole of NaNO3 possess 1 mole of nitrogen atoms, no doubt. 2 moles, 2 moles of nitrogen atoms. 2 moles means again 2 into 6 into 10 power 23. So it is matched with R. Nitrogen atoms is going to be matched, no doubt. Next, coming to oxygens, because sodium nitrate also possess oxygen atoms. We know 1 mole possess 3 moles, 2 moles possess 6 moles. 6 moles means, students, 6 into 10 power 23. Okay, 36. No, nothing is there. Next, 2 moles mass 170, not going to match with. So C is finally matched with only R. Next, I will go for D. 0.4375. If we observe the fractions clearly, this is exactly half of this. 0.875, you can write it as 7 by 8. Half of that you can write it as 7 by 16 moles, no doubt. Okay, let me calculate first of all molar mass of this. Potassium 39, 74, 78 plus 32 and 64, that is 174. Let me check, students. Yes, 174 is the molar mass of potassium sulfate. Okay. Now let me check the weight. 1 mole 174. 7 by 16 moles. 7 by 16. I am calculating. Concentrate, students. 7 by 16 into 174. Almost 16 means almost 10, 11 times. Say for example, 10 6 are 160, 11, 77. No. So it is going to be matched with this one. So D is matched with T. Okay. D is matched with T. Let me check another. Oxygen atoms are there. 1 mole possess 4 moles of oxygen atoms. I am writing here, students. 1 mole K2SO4 possess 4 mole oxygen atoms, because the formula is K2SO4. But how much such moles are here, students? 7 by 16. Possess how much? 7 by 16 into 4. Mole means convert into number, 6 into 10 power 23. So this is 4, this is 1.5, 7 into 1.5, 10.5. So 1.05 into 10 power 24. It is also matched with yes. So this is the way how to solve a matrix matching question in advanced paper. So with this, I have teached from root level concept definition to and application of the concept of mole and loss of chemical combination from the basic level to the high end application level to solve this type of advanced questions. Okay, students? Now, please note it down. Okay, students? Now, coming to our next concept, empirical and molecular formulae. First of all, let us discuss what is the basic difference between empirical and molecular formulae of a particular compound. Empirical formula always gives only the simple whole number ratio of atoms of different elements present in that compound, whereas molecular formula gives the exact number of atoms of different elements present in that compound. So this is the basic difference. Empirical formula gives only the simple whole number ratio, whereas molecular formula gives the exact number of atoms of different elements present in that compound. We will get more idea once if I discuss with examples. Please concentrate, students. C2H2 acetylene gas, C6H6 benzene, CH3COOH acetic acid, C6H12O6 glucose. All these are respective formulae of compounds. This is acetylene, whereas this is benzene. This is acetic acid, whereas this is glucose. All these are the molecular formulae. Coming to the empirical formulae, if you take the ratio of atoms of carbon and hydrogen in both of these compounds, cancel out common term 2, CH, cancel out common term 6, you also get CH. So you can say this CH is the empirical formula of the compound for these two molecular formulae, because it gives only the simple whole number ratio of atoms of carbon and hydrogen present in these two compounds. Gives only simple whole number ratio of carbon and hydrogen, 1:1. That's why this is called empirical formula, whereas these formulae tell us the exact number of atoms present in the respective compound. That is the basic difference between empirical formula and molecular formula. Coming to this by combining all the carbon together, you can write like this: 2 carbons, C2, 4 hydrogens and 2 oxygens. Okay. This is the formula of acetic acid. This is the formula of glucose. Cancel out the common term. 2 is the common term here, so you can write CH2O. Here also 6 is the common term. If you cancel 6, CH2O. So what is the ratio of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms present in these two compounds? 1:2:1. 1:2:1. So this is called empirical formula of these two compounds. Two compounds or more than two compounds may have same empirical formula. It depends on the context. Okay. This is the basic difference between empirical formula and molecular formula. How we have to relate these two for a particular compound, that is our next part we have to learn. Right. I am writing that relation. Molecular formula is equal to empirical formula taken n times. Write down, students. Molecular formula is equal to empirical formula taken n times for a chemical compound. What is n again? N you will get as GMW, gram molecular weight of that compound, divided by empirical formula weight. Empirical, write down, students, empirical formula weight. That also I will explain by taking one numerical. Then you will get more clarity how to calculate n and how to relate molecular formula and empirical formula. So this is the basic concept regarding empirical and molecular formulae are considered. Now let me explain with all these things by taking numericals. Okay, students? Okay, students? You please write down this numerical. The empirical, write down, formula of a compound, the empirical formula of a compound is CH and its vapor density is 14. Calculate or simply deduce its molecular formula. That is the question. We know molecular formula is equal to empirical formula taken n times. So empirical formula CH taken n times. So first of all we should evaluate n. N means molar mass of the compound. Just now you have written the formula, but he has given vapor density. 2 into vapor density gives molar mass. So 2 into 14. 2 into 14. So correct this as 13. Better. Okay, you will get exact answer. Right. Now empirical formula mass means, what is the empirical formula given? CH. C means 12 and hydrogen means 1, that is total 13. So we will get it as exactly 2. That's why I corrected it. Get exact. Okay. N equal to 2. So you can simply write molecular formula is equal to CH taken twice, that is C2 H2, nothing but our acetylene. This is the simplest numerical application based on empirical and molecular formula concept. Next, we are going to learn about next type of numerical, that is based on the practical data of a compound. We are going to evaluate its empirical formula. Okay, first of all you please finish off this, then I will go for that. Previous session I have explained you to calculate the mass percent of respective elements present in a compound. So, with the same concept I am going to give you the second type of numerical application on this empirical formula. Okay, students? Now, you please write down the question along with me, then I will go for detailed solution. Write down, students. A compound contains 4.07%, right down students, 4.07% hydrogen, I am writing H, hydrogen, comma 24.27% carbon and 71.65% chlorine by mass. Write down students, chlorine by mass, and the vapor density, VD means vapor density, is 49.48. The question is, find out both empirical formula and the molecular formula of the compound. Okay. Now, there is a systematic procedure to deduce the empirical formula if you are given with the percentage composition of respective elements present in that compound. Okay. In this question, he has given the mass percent of hydrogen, carbon and chlorine. See students, first of all, for this type of questions, we should check whether the total percentage given and adding whether you are going to get 100 or closer to 100 or not. We have to check it out first of all. Let me do it. 4.07 to 4.27 and 71.65, 14, 19, 9, 9, 9, almost 100, no problem students. Why I am checking like that? There is an important issue here. Please concentrate. If it is not equal to 99 or 98.5 also you can take, no problem. Up to 99 you can consider, no problem, 1%, nothing. If it is not equal to 99 or 100, if nothing is mentioned in the question, the remaining you should consider that default as the mass percent of oxygen. Suppose I am adding these three, you will get, say for example, 80. The remaining 20 you should consider that as default as oxygen. If any other element is there, definitely he will mention like this: a compound containing nitrogen has this much, this much, this much. So, the remaining you can write for nitrogen. If nothing is mentioned, default you should consider that as oxygen mass percent only. Please do not forget about this before going to start the systematic procedure to evaluate the empirical formulas. I think for CBSE background students it was already there in the school year itself. Okay. Anyway, let me discuss about that systematic procedure. Okay. First step, I have to write the respective compositions of the elements given by mass. Okay. First I am going to write carbon by keeping a small heading here, and hydrogen element I am writing name, write down students, and then chlorine. Okay. And percentages also I am going to write 4.07, 24.27, 71.65. In the first step, I am going to divide these percentage compositions respective atomic weights as per the systematic procedure. I am repeating the statement again. Divide all the percentage compositions with the respective atomic weights of the elements. Carbon, sorry, I have written wrong here, 24.27, this is 4.07, okay. By 12 is the atomic weight, students. Here 2 12s are 2, again 2 12s are 2. Up to 2 units it is sufficient. Hydrogen by 1, so simply you can write 4.07, no problem. Here chlorine, that is 35.5 atomic mass, we know. 235.5, that is 71 exactly, 2, again 2. So approximately 2. So these are the values I got. The first step, divide the percentage compositions of the elements with their respective atomic masses. Okay. And the second step, divide all these values with the least value among them. Divide all the values with the least value among them. I am doing that. 2.0, 2.0 to least value 1, 4.07 by 2.02, approximately 2, no problem. 2.02 by 2.021. Sir, why you are doing like this? Because we know empirical formula always gives the simple whole number ratio of atoms of different elements present in that compound. That's why I am dividing with the least value among them to get a simple whole number ratio. So in the next step, I am writing like this. The simple whole number ratio of atoms of carbon, hydrogen and chlorine is 1:2:1. So you can write empirical formula is equal to CH2Cl. CH2Cl. Now he has given the vapor density. You got empirical formula. From vapor density we can calculate molar mass, that is 2 into vapor density, 2 into 49.48. Now I am going to calculate the value of small n. First of all, let me do the calculation for empirical formula mass. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 35, that is 49.5. And I am going to calculate n, GMW, 2 into 49.48 by 49.5. So again approximately you will get it as 2, almost. Then molecular formula is equal to CH2Cl taken twice, that is C2H4Cl2. So in this way I have deduced both the empirical formula and as well as molecular formula of the compound. This is the systematic procedure that one should follow to evaluate the empirical formula of a compound. If you are given with the respective percentage compositions of different elements present in that compound, please note it down, students. Okay, students, let me go for another problem of same approach, and then I will switch over to the next model. Okay, note down, students, along with me, please don't waste time. Note down a carbon compound on analysis, gave the following percentage composition by mass. Now he has given the composition like this. You please just note it down. Carbon 14.5%. Write down, students. Hydrogen. Write down, students. Hydrogen 1.8%. And chlorine, I am writing here, and chlorine 64.46%. 64.46%. Now, you have to calculate the empirical formula of this compound. Okay, this is the percentage compositions given. Okay, students, right? I am going to evaluate what I have told you. First, you should check whether the total is equal to 100 or not. Let me check first, right? Here I am doing, students, 14.5, 1.8, 64.46, 6, 12 plus 5, 17, 5, 6, 4, 10, and 6 plus 1, 7, 8. It is only 80.76, and he did not mention anything in the data. So, default, I have already told you, you should take that as the mass percent of oxygen. Now, I am writing here, students, oxygen. How you get? 100 minus 80.76. That is simply, you can write it as 19.24 by subtracting this from 100. Now, procedure is again same. In the first step, we have to divide with the percentage compositions with the respect to atomic masses. 35.5, oxygen 16. Let me do. 1 12s are 12, that is 1.2. This is 1.8. This is 35.5, almost 19. 19 means almost 8 it also. And this becomes 1, 16, 32, again 1.2. 1.2. Now, the smallest value among these is 1.2. Let me divide with this 1.2. So, in the next step, 1.2 by 1.2, write down, students, 1, 1.8 by 1.2, that is 1.5, 1.8 by 1.2, 1.5, 1.2 by 1.2, that is 1, that is 1. Now, you got a fraction 1.5, 1.5, but this step especially we are doing to get a simple whole number ratio. Then you should multiply with the suitable integer to get whole numbers. Now, I will do in the next step. 1 into 2, 2, 1.5 into 2, 3. Here also 1.5 into 2, 3, 1 into 2, 2. Start with what integer? With 3, with or 4. If you do with 4 also, you will get simple ratio, same thing. But our target is to get a simple whole number ratio. That is why I multiplied with 2. So, now you can simply write the empirical formula is for carbons 2, for hydrogen 3, for chlorine 3, for oxygen 2. So, this is the final answer of empirical formula of this compound based on the given percentage composition by mass. Okay, students, you please note it down. Okay, students, write down the next model on empirical and molecular formula. Write down, students, along with me the question. 60 grams of an organic compound, 60 grams of an organic compound, write down, students, on complete combustion, write down, students, on complete combustion gave 88 grams carbon dioxide and 36 grams H2O. What is the empirical formula of compound? Write down the data, students, very important modalities. 60 grams of an organic compound on complete combustion gave 88 grams of carbon dioxide and 36 grams of H2O. This time he did not give any percentage composition by mass and given some other data. So, first we have to get the percentage compositions by mass, and then only we are going to solve for the empirical formula. Any hydrocarbon, I am repeating once again, students, any hydrocarbon means carbon and hydrogen, only two elements will be there. Any hydrocarbon on combustion always give only two compounds, CO2 and H2O. CO2 and H2O. Here I am writing CO2 and H2O. Common element is oxygen, on combustion you will get, and carbon and hydrogen are different. So, if you observe the data carefully, if you have, from the carbon dioxide data you can estimate the percentage composition of carbon. From the H2O data you can estimate the percentage composition of hydrogen in the given compound. Okay, students. Now, let me estimate the mass percent of carbon in the compound based on the data given to me. Right? See here. What is the molar mass of carbon dioxide? 44. I am writing, students, you please write down along with me. 44 grams of carbon dioxide contains how much of carbon? 12 grams of carbon. But this time how much of carbon dioxide is given to you? 88 grams. So, I am writing 88 by, write down, students, 44 into 12 grams of carbon. So, all this from where you are getting? From where you are getting this 88? By the combustion of 60 grams of compound. I am writing the data, observe it. 60 grams, from this I am writing, 60 grams of OC and organic compound on combustion gave how much carbon? No doubt 88 by 44 into 12 grams carbon. This is the data that one can write. Now, to get percentage composition, now you have to consider 100 grams of organic compound. What you are going to get here? Mass percent of carbon in the compound. Now, 100 by 60 into 88 by 44 into 12. This is 2. This is 30, finally for 40%. Please note down, students. Now we got mass percent of carbon as 40. Next I have to calculate for hydrogen. Please note it down. I am calculating mass percent of hydrogen, students. What is the molar mass of H2O? 18. I can write 18 grams H2O contains 2 grams of hydrogen in it. Now this time he has given 36 grams H2O, that is 36 by 18 into 2 grams. All this from where you are getting? That is on combustion of 60 grams of organic compound. I am writing the same. 60 grams of organic compound gives, contains no doubt 36 by 18 into 2 grams of hydrogen. But for calculating mass percent of hydrogen, we have to take 100 grams. Here we are going to get mass percent of hydrogen is equal to 100 by 60 into 36 into 2 by 18. 4, 15, 100 by 15, that is 6.66%. So finally I got the mass percent of hydrogen as 6.66. Just now we have calculated mass percent of carbon as 40 and mass percent of hydrogen, now we got it as 6.66. The total 46.66, not equal to 100. Again we have to recollect the previous numerical. The remaining you should consider that as mass percent of oxygen. So percent W by W of oxygen is equal to 100 minus 46.66, that is 53.33. Now this is the mass percent of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Finally we got based on the given data. Now the remaining thing is as usual what we did in the two previous numericals, that is the systematic procedure to get the empirical formula of the compound. Okay. Students, I am writing the respective percentage compositions. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, I am writing, students, see here. Carbon we got it as 40 and hydrogen 6.66 and oxygen 53.33. Now divide with the respect to atomic masses. 3 12s are 36, again 3.33. This is 6.66. Here 3 16s are 48, 5 again 3, 3. So the least number among them is 3.33, and again you have to divide with 3.33. This is 1, 6.66, 3.33. This is 2, the 3.33 by 3.33. This is 1. So simple ratio I got now, 1:2:1. So I can write the empirical formula is CH2O. So this is your final answer, students. Okay, students, with this I am going to conclude this session 9, and in the next session I am going to explain some more numericals based on empirical and molecular formulae. Thank you.